welcome to my garden. So for any of you guys that are new subscribers, I garden in France, southwestern France, in zone 8B. So as far as my research to equivalent to USDA zone. So anyway, just wanted to give you a tour of our garden today. George had a great idea of maybe showing you guys everything that is starting to wake up in a garden, because in my area the spring is already approaching. So I wanted to show you, and I thought it was really good idea to go around and maybe look and see what's going on in the garden today. So right here, they're hybrid tea roses. I've been trimming already. Maybe it's just a tiny bit early, but you know, I think they'll be fine. Some of them I already started trimming. Maybe I'll do a video in how I trim my roses. I'm not an expert, but you know, I've had roses for a long time, and I kind of, you know, I'll show you how I do it. This climbing rose I also trimmed. This is a Louis de Funès climbing rose. I have it on an obelisk here, and I've had this for a few years. It's starting to really take off, but you can see I love how all the shoots are coming out on the canes already. So these are all flower bearing shoots on a climbing rose. I'm hoping to have a good results this year. So Boxwoods, Boxwoods are looking really good. And here we have, I planted some hybrid tea roses last fall. They're called Chandos Beauty. They're very beautiful, kind of a white with a bit of a peachy centers, and everybody just loves this rose, so I thought I can maybe try them, and they're in I love the colors, the mellow colors. So I have several, I think I have 5 of them. Yeah, there's 5 of them that I've planted here. But for this area, I think I'm going to also make plant a boxwood hedge. I think it would look really great to create this boxwood hedge in front of the roses to give a bit of a formality, also kind of tie in with all the other boxwoods that's going on around. So I have some hydrangeas, they're piniculadas, that they are, I trimmed them. They're doing really good. I have few that I still have to trim, and I've been kind of going bed to bed and trying to add more maybe sand, because I have clay soil to prevent from if in the summertime getting really dry and compacted. So I'm trying to still add as much as like a compost and manure and that type of things, incorporate into the soil as I go. So some areas I've already done, but some areas I still am working on it. So this is this is our front bed, basically right in front of our door. And I can see that there is lots of hyacinths that are coming out already. You can see they're all poking through. Some Dutch irises. These are perennial wallflower that are also already starting to actually. I'm going to go in there because there's lots of bulbs planted here, but they're already forming buds. You can see I'm really excited about this. I think I will put the name on the screen. I can't remember. I think it's called Bowls Mauve or something like that. Anyway, heucheras are coming, starting to bulk up a little more. I planted this rhododendron this last fall, and it's doing pretty good. I realized that my rhododendrons struggle a little bit in my area because my soil is very alkaline and they like acidity, and so I'm keep adding more acidic properties to the soil around them to get them to really start like being more lush and green, etc. So I think they're doing okay this year, but I need to continue with that process constantly. And so yeah, so they're doing good. These are azaleas, and they all have new buds on azaleas. They're white variety, and these azaleas are amazing. They also flowered last fall, which you can see some of the spent flowers from the last fall, and they're now creating new buds for the spring. So I'm really happy with these azaleas. I don't know what variety they are, so I don't think it was specified when I purchased them, but you can see hydrangeas. These are the big leaf hydrangeas, microphylla, and you can see they're already started to bud in my area, so looking really, really good. I just finished fertilizing my hydrangeas. You can see basically all I did is sprinkled some hydrangea fertilizer, and some acidic properties to make sure to see if I can get some blue flowers this year. Also, I went ahead and incorporated some of this slate rock for the hydrangeas on the basis of it to see if this will help to bring the pH down on the soil. Hopefully will get them a little more acidic. I mean, that's what the garden center told me. Here in France, I haven't, I'll just see how it works. I'm not sure if it works or not, but I'm going to try it. It doesn't hurt to try. So I have a deciduous azalea here that has quite a few buds. I planted this last year. This is a really lovely, beautiful white and creamy yellow variety, which is I'm very excited about. And I also planted last fall these beautiful Mexican trees. I think they're called Mexican orange tree, if I'm not mistaken, Aztec. And they have this gorgeous chartreuse green color to them, which, they will get about a meter tall. Eventually, they were just really small, but I have 3 planted here last year along with my heuchras. Oh, and I don't want to forget about David Aston roses, which I planted 5. They're Judy Dench David Aston variety. I'm really excited because they have this beautiful peach color to them, peach apricot colors, which I think it's going to be gorgeous when they start really taking off and also bring really nice sun because these roses just smell amazing. So this is the area where we planted pansies, all orange and yellow pansies. Here I also have planted lots of tulips, ranunculus, and anemone this year. So I'm hoping to see, this is my first time, this year was the first time I planted ranunculus and anemone. So we'll see how they come out. I'm really curious to see if they will come out well or not. I'm really looking forward to that. So this area is starting to do well. I have several Ethiopian that are starting to really bud, and hopefully I will see if I have some flowers this year or not. This one has been here for a while and hasn't given me any flowers, so I'm hoping maybe this year is the year for that. We'll see. And lots of Dutch irises are coming out. I planted Japanese maple tree Shana here, along with I have pina colada hydrangea, framboisine, and I have another one right there. So I'm hoping this bed will start really coming along really well. I have some hellebores that needs to go. I was thinking to plant them here, but I might not plant them here. So I might take them up to the Pergola area where there is another woodlandy area. I think they would probably do well there. But I did plant some caramel heuchras this year, and I have to say I really love the color of the caramel heuchras. They really stand out. They look really pretty. Everything has to be mulched and covered in order to look good, so we're kind of slowly doing that. It's impossible to cover this big large garden all at once, but slowly and surely we're working on it. This area is I have some hydrangeas, few irises, some hellebores, but I really don't want to do too much in this area just here, because eventually I think this will probably go, and I kind of would like to make a sitting place here right in the middle of the garden, because our pathway there is a little too narrow, and I kind of like to maybe sitting place bring it into here so we have a little more space, and I think it will look great. So we'll see. That's why I just don't want to do too much, because all the plants have to be moved when I start that project. Here I planted, I moved my little lime hydrangea, pina colada hydrangea, from the other side where it was getting too much of an afternoon sun. So I moved it here a little bit. It will still see the sun, but I'm hoping that it will do, it will be a little more sheltered in my area. And so we planted lime and lemon and lime nandinas here with forever red heuchras, which I'm really excited to see this area to develop. And I have more things to add from the containers still that we put together. It's time for them to go into the landscape, and I think this is where they are going to go. I also planted Japanese maple phoenix. It's really tiny and they grow very slow, but for me it's more affordable to buy small and then just let them develop versus to buy really large trees or shrubs and those kind of things, because they're always very, very pricey. And here we have more hellebores, and I have some hookras placed here that I'm going to plant, and I'll just do another video. I'll show you the what kind they are and what goes where. But look at this. This looks really good. This rhododendron this year is doing pretty good. It struggled last couple of years. Has a really beautiful color to it, kind of a purplish with a dark eye. But yeah, I have some blooms here, which I'm really excited. And you can see, just looking at the foliage, it looks really happy, which makes me happy. Makes me happy to see my plants happy. So, so we go this way really quick, and I just removed Ethiopian Bartzella from here because it just wasn't getting enough sun. I moved it into a more sunnier area. Something else is going to go here, and I'll do video for that. I'm waiting to get that done and fill up the hole, and then we'll just go from there and show you what I'm doing with that. All the hydrangeas are budding, doing really, really pretty here. I just filled in the container, which I'm really excited to slowly get some color. I have an annual woo flower in the middle, and then just a few violas, really pretty with the yellow and purple color. So here the hydrangeas are doing good. They're starting to really bud. I just fertilized all of them, as I said. There is a clematis here that it's waking up, which makes me so happy. I planted this clematis last year. It's looking really, really nice. And did really good in this area. So here it's coming out. I'm hoping to maybe plant another one right next to it, just kind of make it nice and dense a little bit and kind of have them trail on this fence. We'll see. So this is the containers that we put together in one of my videos. If you guys have been following, you can probably have seen it. So I planted some tulips in there as well. They're like a small variety tulips. They're about 20 centimeters, creamy yellow tulips that I planted in between the pansies. They will come out hopefully soon. I don't see any signs of poking them through yet, but hopefully soon they will start coming out. So this is David Austin climbing rose that I planted here, and this one is Bathsheba. I'm very excited for this variety. Look at this. The leaves are still on the bush, hasn't dropped it yet, and I'm not sure what to do. If you guys had this happen before, let me know, because I've gardened in Colorado, and by the time the winter is over, they never had leaves. In this area, some of the David Austin roses, they still have leaves, and I don't know if I should go through and take them off, or I don't know. Have you guys, if you had that kind of thing happen in your garden in a warmer climate, please let me know about it, because I've been debating if I should go through and remove all the leaves or just let them be and maybe they will drop. Not sure. Give me some suggestions on that if you don't mind. So this area was my last project I did last year. George and we went and basically cleared out in this whole bunch of shrubs and trees that was just self-seated here and found themselves kind of everywhere. We removed all of it and treated the soil, and we planted photinias on the other side of this area. I have limelight hydrangeas, and also I have crepe myrtles. They're smaller variety crepe myrtles. They go about 2 meters tall, maybe about 1.5 meters tall. So they will bring beautiful color here. I have some salvias and David Austin roses, Poet's Wife. I have 4 Poet's Wife here, and I cannot tell you how much I love these roses. I just completely fell in love with these roses. I never was a shrub rose person at all. I always loved the hybrid teas, and I completely fell in love with them. So I purchased more of them, and I have another order. It's coming hopefully in March, maybe for this year. That would be the last one, but I have another big order coming. Hopefully my garden will look really pretty this year. But this area, I was talking to my mom, and we both agreed that I think we need to continue this boxwoods up to here in between the containers to kind of tie everything together. I think there's something is missing here, but for the moment I have planted bunch of daffodils in this area, so I need to wait until the daffodils come up, and then I'll just see where they are. I probably will remove them and spread them into the inside of the bed a little more farther into the center. And this area I probably will bring a boxwood hedge just to make it, you know, a little more formal. I think it would look really pretty. So this area that I'm working on, when we removed all the fence, etc., from this area, we kind of dumped it here for the moment. So I just went ahead and started moving lots of stuff from here closer to the other debris that we have. Hopefully this spring we can just get everything out of the property. And then also we are waiting for the band, because usually in March in France they bring a big band and they place it in a neighborhood where everyone who's cutting trees and branches, they can benefit from it, and dump all their stuff into this large big band. And so that's kind of what we are waiting on, and I'm slowly starting to take everything from here and move it closer to the gate where we can just remove that. I need to start digging. This will be my this summer project, I think. Hopefully have a nice bench and you know, lots of things, make it pretty, because this area is starting to really come together. So that this is kind of, this area sticks out like a sore thumb, and I really want to make it pretty. And so, but this area really came together well last year. I have some hydrangeas that are planted in the containers because I have acidic soil in the containers, and I was hoping to have the blue hydrangeas. And I have the David Austin roses planted. There's summer song variety. I have golden celebration and some other plants here like nepeta, and I was trying to stick to the blue and coppery and yellow kind of tones. So I created this mosaic pathway down there because it was kind of, you know, I needed to have some kind of a maintenance path where I could get and try to maintain this flower bed. Also have barzellas, 3 barzellas in each corner, which I think they'll be really pretty in the spring as they mature. Also snow fountain cherry, whipping cherry is planted there. I think as it grows, it'll be really pretty with the boxwoods, etc. So I love how this came along. I have lots of tulips also planted here. Hopefully in the spring it's all gonna come alive. We were able to manage to cover all this with the compost. It's looking nice and neat. So anyway, just love this area, and hope to see this, how it comes all alive this summer. And I think this year they will be a little more mature, so it will be really pretty. Okay, so let's go this way and see what's going on this part of the garden here. I wanted to show you my weeping mimosa tree, which is coming along really well. Weeping mimosa, this is a beautiful tree. I need to stake it a little better. I have to admit that staking is not my favorite thing to do in the garden. I realized that over time. So I really need to be better at that. I always try to ask George to do it for me, but I don't think he likes it that much. So I just need to get better at doing this. But anyway, this tree is beautiful. Look at the softness of the leaves. And this is evergreen tree, so all winter it stays evergreen, and also creates these beautiful clusters of yellow flowers. I don't know if you can see them, but they are already developing all these beautiful grape-like flowers right here. So it's like covered. This tree is completely covered. Maybe, George, maybe you can come this way and you can show it from the other side, because it has so many flowers right here. The entire tree is really covered with them. I struggled with this tree in the beginning. I planted several places and really didn't like it. It didn't seem like it liked its locations, and it didn't do well, and I kept moving, and I thought, oh my goodness, I will kill this tree if I keep moving anymore. So I brought it here, and I was like, all right, just let it be, and it finally did well on this side. So I don't want to touch this tree again, just stake him. So anyway, here we have tree roses, which I just trimmed a little bit. I think I might need to trim just a little more, I'm not sure. In the spring, they were really tall, so last fall I just went down to all my roses and just took down a little bit, but I haven't really done the final trimming until maybe like next couple of weeks I'll get to it. So this area, I just planted some containers just to have a color around and look good. So this area I need to work on. Maybe today I'll come out and I need to start digging around this container and to kind of tie things together and maybe plant some things on the edges to look nice. Here in this bed, see, this bed I already finished working the soil for the last fall, added some sand, some compost and that kind of things to just make help the soil to get a little more loose and not less compacted. So I need to probably just cover, but I have another plan here for this bed. I don't want to cover yet because I need to plant some other things, and I'll do a video for that also, and I'll show you what I have in mind. The climbing roses are doing really good. Again, I have to trim them still. I did fertilize some of them. I cleaned out the bases. I added more manure, some more sand, and some eggshells and whatever I had at home to just kind of give them a good immunity and good fertilizer. So they're doing really good. I just need to trim them for the spring. And you can see this beautiful weeping willow, which is a very small variety called Salix. This will go up only about 1.5 meters, which is about 5 feet tall, and will whip down. It will be has really pretty like a kitten looking fuzzy buds, which gives a really nice ornamental look to the spring. And so I'm excited about that, to see how this will go here. Some of the climbing roses that I have on this arbor, so this arbor, I think we placed it last summer, right, George? Last summer. So I have Pierre de Ronsard rose, climbing rose on it. It's starting to go, quite a bit already. I trimmed this one already and I fertilized it. And and the biggest thing about the climbing roses, I just attempt to kind of curve them a little bit, because if you curve them, they will produce more flowers. If they go straight, they just don't produce flowers on it. It's kind of, simple. But this one is Renaissance, Claire Renaissance rose, climbing rose. I need to start writing all the names. I have way too many varieties now where I'm starting to forget the names. I need to write tags and start placing near them so I can remember. But this is a Claire Renaissance. It's beautiful, maybe 10-inch flower, kind of a salmon-y color, very, very pretty. And then on this side, I planted climbing rose Leander from David Austin. I'm really excited about this rose. Hopefully, and this is a short climber. They will go probably about 10 feet, not longer than that. And so it probably will cover, maybe we'll just go about, here. So, and then I think I need to plant another Pierre de Ronsard rose on this side, and that way both of those Eden roses, I'm hoping to just cover the entire top of this arbor. So let's go this way and see. So here, base of this large container that we have, I planted lots of tulips. I'm hoping that they will come through this year, will look really pretty. This container, all I did is basically just planted a bunch of pansies just on the edge. I really didn't plant anything in the center, because center I planted about 60 tulips. They will come out, and this area will really fill in. So all I wanted to do is bring nice color and a softness to the edges of this container, and that way, when tulips come up, this will just look really spectacular. So that's the plan for that. Here I have hydrangea, which is coming along, starting to bud really well. Again, I gave some acidic properties to the container. I'm hoping to get a little bit of a blue color this year. We'll see. And this area intended to be for a bench, so I decided that one of the benches there that are a little oversized for our walking space, I might just bring them and place them here, and then find something else for that, just more of a smaller chair where I can have more space to walk around. But the bench will go here, I hope, to create this area. And this area here, they're basically just hydrangeas, roses. The roses still need to be trimmed, but I did work the soil a little bit. I also planted two David Austin roses here this year. Poet's Wife. I absolutely adored Poet's Wife. If you don't have it, I'm highly recommend it. I will recommend this rose. It's large. It's beautiful. It blooms constantly and has a most amazing scent. Also, I have LD Braithwaite rose right there, so that's a kind of a darker variety, and I'm hoping to fill in that part right there. So you can see my Acer palmentum here. I have a Japanese maple in like a whipping variety, and it's a lace type Japanese maple, which already is starting to bud. It's looking really good this year. It feels really strong this year. I have to really protect from the wind, because winds are just so hard in a spring and fall for us, but it's doing really, really good. It had a beautiful color last fall. I'm so enjoying Japanese maples. If you don't have them, plant them. They're gorgeous. So here this is my project that I haven't really attacked yet, worked on yet. I need to go ahead and clean up in the back of the back side of the hydrangeas, because I have camellias planted there. I need to go ahead and trim some bushes, allow some light in a little more, and then just clean out all the debris and stuff that needs to be done, which hopefully I can get to it next couple of days. Hydrangeas, these are incredible hydrangeas. All the way behind this Boxwoods, I planted this entire area with incredible hydrangeas, which is their arborescent variety, and they are basically more improved and strong variety of the Annabelle. And so, but you can see I trimmed the heads, but I do need to go ahead and trim them a little more, remove all these weak branches and stuff, and get them ready for the spring, because the time is almost here for that. Boxwood is doing really, really good. In our area, boxwoods are really difficult to maintain. Every time I'm like, I need to keep staying away from boxwood, but it's really hard, because boxwoods are just so versatile and very pretty. So anyway, I keep adding more, but they are very difficult, because we do have a caterpillar that gets on them, and they can just destroy them in one night. You have to constantly watch them and monitor them. So, but anyway, I'm doing it just because I love it, but it is not easy process. So here I still have camellias planted. They are coming along. They grow very, very slow. I've had them for a few years, and they are doing good. Last year I think they got a bit dry. I was watering, but I don't think I gave them enough, but they're doing okay. This year I just need to keep an eye on them a little more. And you can see there is daffodils that I have planted few places. They are all coming out, starting to poke through. This area is, again, you can see I worked the soil already with some sand and some nutrients. Lots of leaf mold in this area. I placed lots of leaf mold because I had them. But I planted also David Austin roses here. I stayed in more of a yellow and white colors here, because this is this entire bed is kind of in that tone. So I have Vanessa Bell and Desdemonas here, which I'm really excited. So I have cyclamens here, and I have few cyclamens in my container there that I planted them in the spring. I think I'm going to remove them to change the containers for the, I planted the containers last fall for the winter. Now I'm going to probably redo the containers for the spring, so everything that I have there will be planted into the landscape. I have several cyclamens in the containers that will I will plant here as well. And every time I'm just slowly adding more cyclamens from this side behind the boxes, because when the hydrangeas are dormant and they are kind of not performing yet, they're still asleep, this area gets quite empty. And I love the color of the cyclamens. They have a beautiful lush leaves, and they come back for us every year. So I'm going to slowly add more behind this boxwood and hydrangeas and let them kind of grow, because they like this woodlandy dappled shade area. So this is clematis that we planted last year. I don't know if you remember one of the videos, and this one I'm very excited about. This is a early blooming variety, evergreen variety, and I'm hoping to cover this entire arbor hopefully. And it's beautiful because these strong leaves, they will stay here green on this arbor all winter long. And this one called Armandi Eye apple blossom, the flowers look like apple blossoms. I'm really excited, and I can see that I have some buds on it. I'm very, very excited for this clematis here. So this area is developing. You can see I have a photinia hedge here. Now these photinias are a smaller variety of photinia. These are new varieties, and I found them online. I did lots of research trying to figure out what I want to do this hedge with, because I really was trying to stay away from the boxwood. So I decided to go with photinia. These are red robin variety, but they are dwarf red robin variety, so they will go up only 1 meter tall. And so I can always trim them and keep them small and dense. I think they will do really pretty, and I really enjoy these red tips of the photinias, because when all the roses are coming out, all the red tips of the roses and the photinias, they just really go well together. Very excited. Bonjour. It looks really pretty, and I think, hang on, they're gone. And I think as soon as I cover this area with the compost, they will really stand out a lot more. But I do love them, and I think I'm going to do the same hedging on this side as well. So hopefully soon I can get them and get this planted. So as many of you guys know, this area of my garden has been my last area of the garden for now, or just for this part of the garden. And I have been working last year. This was basically just filled with lots of bushes and things that have been growing here for a long time. So what we did, we went ahead and cleaned this entire place out. I started digging this entire area, mixed in some compost and some other components to make the soil loose. But the soil was actually pretty good here, because they were under the pine trees, and I think lots of needles fell for a while. And the soil was really nice. It wasn't as compact as I thought it would be. So anyway, I started planting this area last year. It's doing pretty good. I have lots of tree peonies here, which I don't know if you can see right here. They're already popping. They already have buds developed on them. And I planted David Austin roses here, hydrangeas. This one is a Pat Austin variety, which I'm excited. No, maybe this one is a Pat Austin. This one is a Pat Austin, and then this one is the Benjamin Britten, I think. And I have mustard wood variety, Benjamin Britten. So I'm really excited. This is going to be really pretty. There's still lots of work to be done on this area. This is a new addition. We just purchased this last week because I really wanted to make a water feature here. So hopefully we will get this done soon, this project. It will be water feature just in this area here. I have a Japanese maple tree here. It's called Autumn Moon, and this one is a beautiful, beautiful variety. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to leave this here all the time. I have to see if it gets really kind of full and blocks all the view from the blocks all the other plants. I might have to move them to another area. This is a beautiful variety. Anyway, and we also, if you remember, planted hedges here with Nellie Stevens hollies. I planted all around it. I'm hoping to have them grow and maybe just give us some privacy here, evergreen privacy. And I also enjoy their red berries, which they produce, in the Christmas time, and I really love that. So I decided to go with them. But in the meantime, we have someone who is coming to help us trim some of the branches up here to be able to bring some more light to this area, especially if or when all the Nellie Stevens hollies start growing and becoming tall. Probably, I don't want to cut out completely all the light from for the plants in this garden. Anyway, this is our pergola that we placed last year with my husband, and this was the idea that I had with to have this arbor here. I planted Amnesty International climbing rose right here. It's a beautiful creamy yellow with the white outer petals, and I'm hoping to have this climb all over the arbor. And we just placed all the containers here. I have some pansies and Gaultheria. I think that's Gaultheria, and this evergreen shrubs, and I don't know, it's not a shrub, it's a ground cover, but they do like a little bit of acidic soil, but I think they're doing good. And I placed them all inside of this pavers that I placed for the edging, and I think they will hopefully spread inside and maybe drape down a little bit on the edges, which will bring really beautiful kind of a soft look to this area. So this area is all new. It's been developing. I have much more to do here, and hopefully soon I can get the bottom of the pergola done. We still have a few things to do up there. George has to complete everything that we haven't done yet. Then I need to place all my stones and hopefully have a nice beautiful sitting area here. Also, I forgot to mention that I planted David Austin roses. I have monstered wood on each side. Bonjour. So I have monstered wood on each side, and then in the middle is a climbing rose Colette, which I'm very excited about. I wanted to find this rose variety for a long time, and I'm very, very happy that I did. So we'll see how it goes, but it's supposed to be beautiful. Also back there by the fence, I planted Wallerton Old Hall climbing rose, and I am very excited about that as well, because I think they will, I can bring them into over the fence and soften the fence and maybe even take them up on the trees a little bit. What I hear is it takes a little longer for them to really develop and take off and go, but I'm patient. We'll just wait and see. So I have still quite a few things to do here, but it's all coming along. I just freshened up the containers a little bit, cut down my Dusty Miller, added more pansies here, kind of. Huh?
Don't forget the rose on your pergola.
Oh yeah.
It's blooming.
Not blooming yet.
It's blooming yellow.
No, it's not blooming yet, sweetie. So we can go inside, I guess. So here we have, this is actually from a very dear friend of mine. She started this rose for me from a cutting of her 100-year-old Lady Banks rose. So this is a Lady Banks rose, and you can see it has this arching habits, and this rose, it does not have thorns. You can cut them, it's easy to work with. It is very vigorous though, so I'm hoping this rose will just go and literally cover this entire pergola and maybe hang on the sides a little bit, kind of like this, because this rose just has the unique little flowers, creamy yellow flowers. I think it comes with another variety, like a white variety, but I love the creamy yellow. It has this pearl-like flowers, and it makes it very magical. First time I saw this at her place, I just was so taken by it that I was like, I have to have this. And so she made a cutting for me, and I'm so grateful for her to have part of her rose in my garden. It's so exciting. And here we have more hybrid tea roses. I have Leonardo da Vinci shrub roses on the hedges there, lots of dahlias. And here as well, more roses. I'm a rose person. I love roses, and roses are just one of those plants that you have to have in the garden. It's like I can't even imagine without the rose. I just can't. And I know it takes more water and all that stuff, but I love roses in my garden. And so I have a whole bunch of hybrid teas here. You can see I have some pina colada hydrangeas. I'm trying to add more pina colada hydrangeas in my garden. Oh, and I forgot to show you that I have 3 hydrangeas here. I have 2 strawberry vanilla variety of the 3 hydrangeas, which I just pruned, and I hope I haven't pruned too hard. We'll see this year, because last year I didn't prune enough, or I didn't prune at all. I think I just cleared out the flowers, but this year I was like, they're getting really leggy, so I went ahead and pruned that because I wanted to get a bit of a fullness to the trees. So we'll see if I did too much or not. Looking at it, maybe I didn't do too bad. So here, this is another tree hydrangea. This is a phantom, and I can see they're already starting to start budding. So, the buds are swollen. So this is really another gorgeous variety. Anytime I can get tree hydrangeas, they're very expensive, but I love them. They're just beautiful. So here I have planted tulips again. Again, I have roses, and I have succulent container which has been neglected for ever. So I need to really bring some attention to this. Although you can see, like this, I don't even know the names of these guys, but they have really gotten big. This container is so shallow, I really didn't know what to do. When we purchased the house, this came with the house, which I'm very grateful, but I think it used to be a fountain, so it was some kind of a statue here which was broken and crumbled. I removed that, and then there was another container here, another crumbling container, fountain, where I was trying to create my formal rose garden, so I had to remove that. I saved the base where this beautiful sculpture is sitting on, so we saved the base, but the rest of them was crumbling, so we had to remove the crumbling parts. And in that fountain, there was lots of succulents, and so what I did is I took all those succulents out of the fountain and placed them in this container, because this one just so shallow, doesn't even hold water, so it's perfect for this, and they're doing really good. And this one is a really pretty variety. I see them a lot around France, like when in a neighborhood, seem like everybody has those, and they stay outside, and look, in the spring they bring this beautiful color, and they will actually flower yellow, really beautiful variety. So I think I'm going to leave this, but to bring maybe more into this center area, hopefully. So that's another project coming up that I really need to do, and I have other plans for here, so we'll see. This area has been created, was it last year or year before? I made this this kind of stairs slash walkways. This area is a little kind of steep. It goes down a little bit, like a gentle hill, I should say. So I placed all these stepping stones to walk through and just bring another hardscaping interest. And they're not professionally made or anything, but they look good. I really like how they turned out. This area here, I have roses. I planted Lady Emma, Hamilton, David Austin rose. I have several roses that I planted here. Also, I have some hybrid teas, salvias, Ethiopianese. So in this area I also would like to add more lantana. Last year I planted lantana celoviana, and it looks like, I didn't know if it was going to come back, but it seemed like it is coming back. I just need to cut them, but for right now, since we've been having a little colder season, I've been covering them with this containers to just keep them protected, because I really don't want to lose them. So hopefully I can plant, since they're coming back, I can plant some on edges. They have this beautiful amethyst color that I absolutely love. And so yeah, we have rhododendron, some azaleas, and that type of things in this area. So let's go down this way. I have another David Aston rose that I planted here. This is a Caroline Knight variety. Very excited. Another paniculata hydrangea roses. And this one, maybe it's a Princess Kent. Princess Kent? No. Scratched apart. I don't know. And this one I can't remember. I have to really place some tags so I can remember what they were. This one I left so I can, except for this one doesn't have the, oh no it does. Oh, this one is a Princess, I can't read.
Anna
Oh, Princess Anne. That's what it is, not Kent. It's a Princess Anne. And then this one I'm not sure. I have to see which one was that one, but I know, or maybe it's another Melanie. I'm not sure. Anyway, I have 3 David Aston roses here as well, planted. I think those 2 was Molyneux, and then the other one I will have to remember. And we are back to the same area again. We did the whole circle around in this area. I don't know if we went this way or not, but I have evergreen jasmine growing here as a hedge, which needs a bit of a trimming. The containers, I just planted some orange pansies here because I have planted lots of tulips in these containers. I'm hoping to see them in the spring all come up. Here I did some transplanting, and I brought the Hydrangea paniculata, which was there. I brought here. I planted David Aston roses, couple of them. This one is Othello, I know that. This one is Pat Aston here, and I have some Ethiopians. Right, there is one right here, and it's called Canary Brilliance. This one. And I have another one, Morning Lilac, I believe, is it, or Morning Lilac, right there. And I have another climbing rose that I planted right behind the sculpture. This one is a Charles Aston, and I'm really excited because I'm hoping to, I don't know, create something really interesting around this sculpture where it brings maybe even drops on it a little bit, so brings kind of an interesting look to that. So here, tree peony is doing really good, and I'm just gonna step here really quick. You can see it's already starting to bloom. This tree peony is beautiful. I love it so much. And I have a couple of them there as well that are doing really, really good right now. I have Vanessa Bell, David Aston roses, 2 here, and then 1 right here. Big leaf hydrangea here, it's starting to wake up. I have another deciduous type azalea which has lots of buds on them, 1 here and 1 there, so they are starting to get ready starting to wake up. Here I have hellebore. This is one of those hybrid varieties. I'm really excited. They're starting to come out, and you can see Magnolia Suzanne is starting to also get ready to bloom here soon. Yeah, so everything is looking quite pretty. Here I have some containers. These containers I created last winter, and it lasted well, but I think it's time for them to go. I have a beautiful roll of loropetalums here that I want to go ahead and add to my other area of the garden. So all of these heucheras and everything is going to go into my landscape, and then I'll do something really nice here. And this part is all Ethiopians and roses. They are doing really good. Coming along, all I need to do is just do some trimming. I did spring trimming on my Ethiopians, so they are ready to start to bloom in hopefully early, maybe in April. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers. If you like them, please don't forget to subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.